All right, Monday Fun Day. Welcome in as we kick off the best betting show ever. Hope everybody's 4th of July was fun. Hope you have all the fingers and the toes and all of that good stuff there. In the meantime, we've got a lot going on here this week. Soccer, World Cup, in fact. Team USA going tonight. We'll dive into a couple of matches there. We'll recap the weekend. We'll talk a little predictive markets. We'll have a parlay of the day, a couple of best bets, and we'll do it with the Monday crew. Here they are. BP in the house. Brian Power, as is. Carmine Bianco, ready to go here. Hell of a week in store here, guys. Final week, I believe, for Major League Baseball takes a sabbatical and play some sort of, all-star game. And when I say all-stars, that is debatable given the fact of some of the people that are actually have been voted onto this team is amazing. But let's start, of course, with the weekend recap. And Carmine, let me start with you, man. How did you do yesterday? How did you do over the weekend there as the World Cup continues?
3-1 over the weekend, including a sweep yesterday. So we continue to do well in the World Cup. 58.14 units of profit right now. A 64.1% winning percentage and ROI of 29.4. So we swept the games yesterday. I was pretty happy with the results. We had England to win or England to advance. So that was another game with a red card that I'm not sure if the Prime Minister of the UK is going to get involved or not to get that rescinded. But regardless, I had to throw that in there. Regardless of it. And then, Joe, listen, the voodoo dolls have been in full motion for me, it just seems, because the game that was earlier, the one with Norway and Brazil, the over 2.5 looked absolutely dead. And then Erling Haaland said, here, let me score a couple. And then the official said, hey, let me give you and Neymar a 98th minute penalty to get you over the total. He gave me the little push there at the end, and I was pretty happy about it.
Go ahead, Brian. Right, how was your weekend? Yes.
I did not have to sweat out that Norway-Brazil quite as much as Carm. I had Norway plus half a goal. I spent most of the match saying, hey, let's just get through this thing level until added time, and I can just watch and be a fan. Well, Erling Haaland, as Carm pointed out, had different ideas, scores twice, so that was nice. I had written up that I thought there was a good chance Norway would beat Brazil. They did, with Haaland being the difference. It always helps having a goalkeeper stand on your head, too, Carm. As much as people are going to say, oh, what a bad bet that was if you had under 2.5. The reality is it was insane that it was still 0-0 approaching the 80th minute with all the score. I mean, Brazil missing the penalty, obviously, early on. It was pretty crazy. I thought that was actually a deserved win for those with BTTS and over 2.5.
Yeah. And, you know, my biggest beef, Joe and Bri, is that Vinny Jr. Gave the ball for the penalty over to Bruno Guimaraes, who plays for Newcastle. My point is this. Vinny's the best player on the team. The best player on the team is normally the guy who should be taking the penalty kicks. Whether you think it's Ronaldo or not, he's the penalty kick taker. Mbappe, penalty kick taker. Lionel Messi, penalty kick taker. Harry Kane, penalty kick taker. Vinny's like, here, you take it. And Guimaraes has the penalty saved. Yeah. Whether they talk about it before the game of who takes a penalty if one is called, I still believe that it should have been Vinny Jr. there. And hindsight's 2020, but if Bruno Guimaraes scores that penalty, we're not discussing why Vinny Jr. gave up the ball or not. So,
yeah. These guys are overthinking these penalties too, Carm. I think a lot. There's too much story. I mean, you look at like Harry Kane. I thought was a classic example last night of how you're supposed to take a penalty. Man, put the ball in the back of the net. Don't overthink it with Starring and trying to confuse the goalkeeper. I mean, my goodness, the two penalty shootouts we saw with Netherlands, Morocco, and then Egypt, Australia. There's just a lot of overthinking from the penalty spot, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, if we're being honest here, that was interesting, that game last night, hour delay with the rain and everything else. But it's not as if Brazil and Mexico didn't have plenty of chances to put that
Nope.
ball in the
Yes.
back of the net. And they got, honestly, it's you only get a handful of chances every game, right? So there's clearly England took advantage of their opportunities. Mexico didn't, and neither did Brazil. Brazil should have been up 3-0 at one point in that.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for the amount of wide open shots that they missed there. So such is life. They move on, and we move on to Belgium and USA coming up. And obviously the big story is Team USA gets a pretty important piece back as Balogun there gets the reprieve. Thanks to some sort of advisory board that nobody knew existed, apparently showed up and said, hey, he's available to play here. Again, it's still, I guess, he's still under some sort of probation, yada, yada. The bottom line, and call me crazy, guys, Belgium can be pissed all they want. The whole world can be pissed all they want. He's not Messi. Like, he's not Harry Kane. He's not hard. He's a good young player that's had a really good tournament. But last I checked, Carm, Christian Pulisic still the best player on Team USA. And I'm more excited that he was able to play all those minutes in the last game against Bosnia. So everybody settled down because as far as I'm concerned, they were winning this game with or without Balogun playing here tonight, Carm.
Yeah, for me, and Brian knows because I think I've discussed this in the past, Joe. But for me, I'm high on teams that have a good midfield or good midfield players because I believe that they're the sort of the engine that keeps the offense going. So someone like Messi, who is considered a forward but is really a midfielder who sets up plays and moves into the box and becomes a forward, but for the U.S., as good as Christian Pulisic is, and he is good, I'm still a huge Weston McKennie fan. He played phenomenal in that last game. He gave up nothing in that midfield. I think he was in my eyes, the guy. He was the player of the game, and he's had a very good tournament thus far. So as long as he's in the lineup, I'm not worried because Weston can also score as well too. So. Those are my thoughts. Brian, what are your thoughts?
Well, look, Joe said that, he felt, hey, he liked the U.S. even before the red card gets rescinded. And there might be some people there saying, oh, of course you would say that. Look, I've got to concur with Joe about something, or I guess this would go to his point. There's really no disputing the fact that the U.S. has been better than Belgium this entire tournament. You look at Belgium, they have just one win in normal time, and that was against a New Zealand side that came in to the tournament ranked by FIFA as one of the worst teams in the entire 48-team field. They were scoreless for 86 minutes before the miracle rally against Senegal. The only time Belgium scored against Egypt was an own goal. Then it was, they draw with Iran. It was a pretty weak group that Belgium got through. Two of the four teams didn't even make the knockout stage. Meanwhile, the United States, they've scored twice in every match. They've got 2 clean sheets. They beat 3 teams that made it to the knockout round. That 4-1 win over Paraguay at the time in the opener, we're like, oh, man, Paraguay kind of stinks. Well, I mean, hey, Paraguay upset Germany in the knockout stage. So I don't think there's really any disputing the fact of these two sides, which has looked better to this point. It would be the United States. No blind patriotism there from me. At all. My only loss, as a matter of fact, in the World Cup, I'm on an 8-1 run in the World Cup. My only loss since June 20th was that Belgium-Senegal match. I thought Belgium was going to get it done in normal time. Carm, of course, they needed extra time, not just a miracle late 2 goals, but they needed a penalty in added extra time as well. VAR gave them. So I don't know. Belgium's been disappointing to me, and I think that is sort of the story falling underneath the headline.
They're filled with a bunch of mid-30 guys that in their heyday a decade ago, this would have been a very scary proposition here for a young, inexperienced USA team. But Carm, it's this is guys holding on. I believe Garcia, the coach, they don't have a new contract, so we don't even know if he's going. It just feels like they're in the process of kind of hitting the reset button here. Like this is a team filled with experience, but they don't have the speed. They don't have the depth that Team USA does. It just feels like, all right, what are we hanging our hat here? If you're backing Belgium, that they're pissed about this decision, like they wouldn't be ready if he wasn't playing. Like I don't get the concept here. I don't think it's even close unless I'm missing something. Oh, is this where we read lips, PP? Is that how that works?
I believe so.
Oh, okay. All right.
Carm's been so hot.
Oh,
that,
sorry. I silenced it because my pet over there is like chirping up a storm. The bird, Sunny, named after Chaz Palminteri.
Yes.
But with that said, yes. With that said, I think it's like a passing of the torch.
It is
right now for Belgium. And this is a team that was ranked number 1 by FIFA for like 5 or 6 straight years and won nothing. Didn't even make deep runs to the finals. Nations League is completely different and stuff, but like World Cup, just not there. Euros not there. And now this is Kevin De Bruyne's last World Cup. This is Romelu Lukaku's last World Cup. Doku obviously will continue to play. Tielemans will continue to play. So they have players. It's a passing of the torch, but I just don't see how this team keeps up. And especially when you had to play a Senegal team and you had a little bit of rest, but you went 120 minutes in that game with a lot of these guys. And De Bruyne's not a guy who can be out there for that long as well, too. We don't know what the recovery is for these guys. But if the U.S. go at them today and use some of that outside speed, it is one of those things where even if it's scoreless early on for the first 30 or 45 minutes, the USA will eventually wear them down as long as they stick to their game plan. And Mauricio Pochettino has done a phenomenal job of getting this team to play. He's changed the culture of this team. Yep. And then let's not forget the game's at Lumen Field tonight. The 12th man will be there in full force for the Team USA.
Yeah, it will be. And weather is going to be fine. It's not going to be an issue. It could have been worse. I mean, they were playing in 100-degree weather, I think, this weekend here. And Philly was a train wreck there. But at 70 degrees, likely a little bit of chance of rain. It is Seattle after all. But we'll have more on that game coming up here in the World Cup rundown. In the meantime, let's talk parlay of the day. Which I believe we did get right on Friday. I believe Art told us that there. So Art will be back again tomorrow. But BP, baseball, soccer, Belarus handball, where are you going for our first leg of the parlay of the day, my friend?
No Belarus handball for me. I'll break this game down in full elsewhere on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Let's go with the Padres on the money line against the D-backs. Walker Buehler has been outstanding, who's starting for San Diego, has been outstanding his career versus Arizona. Brandon Pfaadt can't get lefties out for the D-backs. So I like the Padres, who just snapped that 8-game losing streak last night, Joe. It's not, hey, I know we like to fade teams sometimes coming off Sunday Night Baseball. San Diego back, or LA back to San Diego is not a long trip. I think the Padres take tonight's series open.
Ooh, Carm?
I'm wearing my Apollo Creed shorts today. USA plus 145 to win it in 90 minutes. Game-winning goal, Weston McKennie. Yeah, I'm just tossing that out for the hell of it. But if you guys followed me on Twitter yesterday, Joe, I said Jude Bellingham plus 410 anytime goal. And he scored the first 2 goals of the game. But give me the USA tonight.
Ooh, USA. All right, in the same breath there, Carm, don't catch a falling knife, right? That's what we always say, guys. Is that correct? Yes. Do not catch that falling knife.
I try to do it, though, Joe,
Cam Schlittler at plus money. I'm willing to take a shot at catching the falling knife.
I love it!
I'm going the New York Yankees. They're eventually going to win a game, and if they can't win it with him on the mound, I don't know what to say, but at plus money, it is worth a shot. So I'll take the Yankees here.
I'll be talking about that game in the same video I preview.
I sure hope that's
Interesting.
a plastic knife that's falling.
Yeah, that I know. That, yeah, it's going to be very interesting, to tell you the truth. Should be very fun. All right, you guys, outstanding stuff as always. We've got predictive markets coming up, and don't you worry, Carm. I do have a one eyeball on what's happening at WagerTalk today, right now, and
Thank you.
yeah, you still got the first guest. So you're going to be a little while. Don't you worry. You're good to go. I think you got plenty of time to see what's happening here. In the meantime, though, we're going to talk some predictive markets here. BP, you got nothing going on, right? You're all good.
I love hanging out with my good
you're
friend
all
Joe
good,
Ranieri.
yeah. You're all
Okay.
good. So who are you kidding? We're fine there. Let's take a updated look here, Carm, at some of the World Cup props that we have actually talked about in the past here, because now obviously here we are, right? The 16. Anything changed for you, Carm? And then BP, you tell me, anything changed for you on the overall World Cup winner market here, where France is still about 35 cents, Argentina 18, England 13, Spain 12. Those are your four favorites here. Has anything happened here, Carm, that leads you to believe that I just don't trust England to get it done at this point?
No, listen, that was an impressive win by England. You have to say. Listen, maybe Thomas Tuchel is spinning some magic. He took over at Chelsea, and at 20-1, they went on to win the Champions League. He replaced someone else as manager. I can't remember who he replaced. I think it might have been one of the English dudes. What was his name? Brian will probably remember him.
I'm trying to remember right now, actually.
Yeah, he went on to he was one of the England players, former soccer players. Anyways, Joe, nothing's changed. I think France playing phenomenal. England, and despite the fact that there's a lot of overreactions, obviously Argentina almost gets knocked out by Cape Verde. France struggles to win late. Mbappe penalty gets them over the line against Paraguay. There's a lot of overreactions. It's because those teams played basically park the bus type of football. We're unlikely to see that, because now the teams we're seeing that are in the round of 16 and in the quarterfinals are the much better teams. Argentina's had a free run to the finals. And the funny thing is, we could be talking about the World Cup, the whole World Cup. We get to the finals, and then all of a sudden it's like, ho hum, it's the same two teams as it was in 2022, France and Argentina. How did we not see this coming? But it could happen. You know, Argentina has played nobody as far as I'm concerned. Now they play Egypt. And I don't want to call Egypt nobody, but they're not football royalty. And if they get through that game, they play the winner of Switzerland and Colombia. So I would love to see them play Colombia, because then it's two South American teams playing and who are familiar with each other. And Colombia has beaten Argentina, and they beat them in World Cup qualifying for this tournament. So with that said, I would love to see that sort of matchup. But we predicted some of the ones right. Mexico on their way out. They got knocked out. USA still looking good. And what happens with the USA if they have to face Portugal instead of Spain? I believe that could be a good setup. Cristiano Ronaldo versus Christian Pulisic in the U.S. Who wouldn't want to see that one, Joe?
Right.
But France, Argentina deserve to be there. England probably should get a bump, because England going into Azteca Stadium, where they've only lost twice, and then having to play a majority of the game down a man, and then an extra 11 minutes of injury time on top of that, with that fan base going absolutely nuts, and they held on for dear life. They did it. So give them credit.
I do. And by the way, we did, BP, I ask you which one of these teams here you might be changing your opinion on. The USA to be the host nation that goes the furthest can cash. It was at 50 or 48 cents, 49 cents, I think, BP, when we talked about it a couple weeks ago. So they got a shot, but they got to handle business here tonight against Belgium. But which one of these teams, BP, in the predictive markets, are you changing your mind on here?
Just to piggyback off something Carm was talking about, everyone was kind of just giving Argentina a free pass to the semifinals when this bracket came into focus. I think they could potentially struggle against Colombia. Colombia has looked great so far in this tournament. They should have beaten Portugal. They were the only non-favorite to win their group back to the group stage, Colombia, and they should have beaten. It was a draw with Portugal, but they should have won that match. They were the better team, in my opinion. I think. Look, do I think Spain would get by France in the semis? No, I don't. But I think Spain at the current where they're at right now, that looks a little low. Like they're going to go up if they win today.
Keeping in mind, though, but keeping in mind, this isn't about actually winning it.
Yeah,
this is about.
And I was going to make that
what's
point.
What's the path, BP? Like, which one of these teams can win a game or two and all of a sudden double or triple in price?
Yeah, and Spain, look, is favored to win in normal time against Portugal. They'd be favored against the U.S. in the quarterfinals. So, I don't know. I mean, in terms of they don't have to beat France in the semis, to my earlier point. We can just get in, get out. If Spain wins twice, I guarantee, that price on them that you see on your screen right now, guys, is going to be up significantly or, at least a decent amount. Maybe, 10 cents, Joe? I don't know. Throw that number out there to you.
I mean, to me, Carm, it's about path. Who can win a couple of games here and increase? I mean, it does. If you think Spain's going to beat, Portugal, then at 12 cents here, I got to believe they go up significantly from 12 cents with a win versus Portugal. No?
Yeah, yes.
And vice versa. By the way, if Portugal wins, they got to go up in price. No?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're betting this predictive market, you have to have an opinion on what is going to happen in today's game at 3 p.m. In order to make that, or you could be drawing dead before you know it, as they say in poker. But I'm still going to reference the one with England. And listen, I have been the biggest detractor, or whatever you want to call it, of England. Because I just think that they make it deep and then they choke. We saw it in the Euros. We've seen it in the World Cup. But I believe the different manager and the way they're playing now, I believe they're a different team. I believe that they actually think they can go out and win. That was, and I'm not overreacting, that was a huge win for them in Azteca Stadium last night against Mexico. But they're still going to have to go through France and or Spain to make it to the World Cup. If they win their next game against Norway, which happens on Saturday, and they make it to the semifinals, they're going to likely meet France or Spain or Portugal or the US, let's say, if those are the four teams we believe are going to fill out the quarterfinal spots or whatever. But I think there's value in England at this moment because Thomas Tuchel knows how to set up a defense to slow down the stars of other teams, and you're going to have that. You're going to have to play a flawless game to beat the France, who I think right now are the best team in this tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, go ahead, BP.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Look, I had Norway yesterday. Holland is incredible. But make no mistake about it, England probably feels pretty good that it was Norway that got through and not Brazil. If England did, to Carm's point, they were incredible last night. They're probably pretty happy with this draw now. They much rather would take on Norway than Brazil next round.
Well, and by the way, any difference, Carm? I believe the market most goals, right, which is the Golden Boot. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
Erling Haaland is right up there too. Messi. Yeah. So to me, it seems like a 3-horse race, right? Mbappe, Messi, and Haaland. And Mbappe is at even money right now. Messi's at 32 cents. Haaland's at 14 cents. What are you saying, BP?
Well, this is the first time that we've ever had 3 guys with 7 goals.
It's crazy, right?
It's certainly it's amazing. The thing, and Carm, you probably agree with this. I think a lot of people probably agree with this. What hamstrings Haaland in that market is that, Norway might be playing its last match next time out.
Yes.
I think you have to, if you're betting on the Golden Boot, you also have to be thinking how far this goes without saying how far you think these respective teams could make it. France has a lot of talent too. Mbappe's not going to get all the goals.
Right. But Holland's already advanced. So is Mbappe, right?
Yeah.
So Messi is the only one here that is not. We're not.
True. I mean, they're already on to the next round. You're right. Messi still. I think we're presuming Argentina is going to beat Egypt, but you know what happens when you presume or assume, if you will.
Yeah, we know you're used to that. There. All right,
hey,
let's.
All right,
go ahead, Carm.
Yeah, I'm going to finish it off with this. I actually would take, just because my mindset is sort of changed from England, and I think they could make a deeper run getting by Norway first, that in the markets, and you can see that Harry Kane is only at 8 right now. Ooh, and he's like plus 750 at sports books. But my thought here is also, and again, Lionel Messi is fantastic, but he's playing against an Egypt team tomorrow that low total in that game. Egypt's going to play a similar type of defensive type of game, which this game could easily finish 1-0, 2-0 for Argentina if they go through. Then they play, if Colombia wins against Switzerland, a Colombia team that's only allowed 1 goal thus far in the World Cup, and that was a garbage time goal to Uzbekistan on match day 1. They haven't allowed a goal since. And they're familiar with Lionel Messi. He's not showing up with any additional talents that he didn't have before to it. So I believe that Kane could catch and leapfrog, and he very well could do it on Saturday against. I would love to see like a 3-1 England final with Harry Kane bagging the hat trick, and all of a sudden the plus 750 becomes plus 140, and I'm sitting on a good ticket.
Yep, I like it.
And remember, Before the goalkeeper stood on his head yesterday against Brazil, Norway had conceded. And how many? I mean, right? I mean, I think the announcers had mentioned it during the telecast, Carm and Joe, that I don't think they said both teams to score prop, but they had said Norway had both scored and conceded in how many straight matches. So I mean, that is a spot where England conceivably against Norway could put some goals in the back of the net.
Still wide open at this point with the golden boot. You're right. Have not seen this in years past. This many guys with this many goals all around the same time of the tournament. So there you got it. All right. We have got obviously some rundowns to go through here. MLB as far as the World Cup. We'll throw out a couple of last minute best bets there. But first, who doesn't look at the Prez and his leotard there. So we've got some business here, and Carm, you're up first here, man. Couple of matches here today. What do you got locked and loaded for the clients over at WagerTalk?
Yeah, 2 plays going. First one's at 3, second one's at 8 o'clock. Of course, you can get them over at WagerTalk, WT.buzz/CB, or pick up the tournament package. There's still value in that because there are a lot of match days left right through to the finals, and that is only $99. And you get every single play, prop, side bet, side, future, and total. So everything is there, guys, all in one package. Take advantage of it. We're running good.
Yes. And BP, what you got locked and loaded for the fine folks over at WagerTalk?
1 World Cup play, 1 Major League Baseball play for Monday. We're 4-0-1 going back to Thursday overall between MLB and the World Cup. 19-8, 70% since June 19th. That includes an 8-1 run in the World Cup, and 84-53 going back to mid-April. We're number 1 with MLB totals this season, guys. I'll let you know that tonight's MLB play is another total. We had to settle for a push yesterday, Joe, on the under 13 Giants Rockies. That was our other play besides the winner on Norway, but still seeing it very well now for the last several months. Keep it going. You can get both plays for $29, as a matter of fact, at my page, WT.buzz/BP.
All right. Also locked loaded Major League Baseball top play up at my page at WagerTalk.com. Head over there, guys. Grab that. Still time to take advantage of one of the great packages that we've got available across Major League Baseball. And, the $49 for 3 days or the 7-day all access. That's the way to go, guys. That partner up that way and get ready, by the way, because football will be here before we know it. All right, guys, we've got a couple of runs down to do. So, Carm, I'm going to let you run with the World Cup rundown, and then BP and I will do the Major League Baseball rundown. So it is all yours, my friend. Where are we going with the World Cup here today?
All right. First game, Spain and Portugal. I think this is going to be a lot closer than people thought. I'm in a chat group with Kelly and Ariel, and I dropped a note in there a while back, and I said, Portugal is going to knock off Spain. Now, I believe it's going to go to extra time this game. It wouldn't surprise me if this is a 1-1 game going to extra time and possibly penalties. So I would take the draw in this game or under 2.5. I think that is a good way to go. And then the USA. Listen, I think there's USA are going to win this game. As I mentioned earlier, you're getting plus 145 on them. I'm going to forego the USA to advance and take them into win in 90 minutes. It is going to be electric at Lumen Field, and I'll be watching that game. So I'm pretty psyched about it.
All right, Carm, outstanding stuff as always. Carm, get out of here, although you probably still have another 20 minutes here. But it's always a pleasure seeing you, my man. We'll see you again tomorrow to celebrate, of course, BP Team USA's outstanding victory, because we know that is absolutely coming. All right. So here we go, BP. Wow. We got a couple of Major League Baseball games on the slate today. I thought maybe we'd run them down quick and get some thoughts, at least on a few of them, because if we're being honest, it has been interesting, to say the least, over the weekend as we head into the All-Star break. Now, there are some teams that can certainly use the break. Now, I mentioned the Yankees earlier, and you yelled at me. Well, I don't know if you were celebrating me or mocking me.
I was.
So Yankees at Rays, Schlittler versus Jackson. Jackson's been fantastic, by the way, for the Rays. I don't know how they keep finding guys like this, but he's been very good for them. It's in Tampa. They've also been very good at home, but I mean, how many more? I mean, Schlittler was like the favorite to win the Cy Young a month ago. Talk to me here, BP, about this game.
So I was celebrating because I mentioned that I'm going to be doing a video preview on Padres D-backs. Well, in that same video, I'm going to be previewing the Yankees versus the Rays, and I'll tell you guys right now, I'm going to tell you to bet the Yankees. Buy low. I completely concur with Joe about buying low on the Yankees with Schlittler on the mound at this price. I know this team, forget about scoring runs. Team can't hit right now, Joe. It's unbelievable, the Yankees. But the biggest concern, I was aware of this, but I didn't have the exact number. They mentioned this on the broadcast yesterday. The Yankees over the last 15 games have given up 86 runs, okay? 33% of those, okay, 1/3 exactly, have been unearned. They can't field. Clean up the issues in the field, and I think a lot of these problems go away. Now, hopefully, Schlittler strikes a lot of guys out. His road ERA is microscopic this year. You mentioned that last start. That was a head scratcher, needless to say, Joe, against the Tigers. He gives up 4 home runs. He'd only given up 6 home runs all year. I think it was just one bad start for Schlittler. Griffin Jax, who you mentioned starting for the Rays, he went a season-high 6 innings last time out. So it'll be interesting to see how he performs after doing so. I think on the arm of Schlittler, the Yankees will get it done. And don't forget, their bullpen ERA is still the best in the American League, New York.
Correct. Now, the opposite side, we got the Phillies with Sanchez, who was roughed up a little bit last time out, but they're at Kauffman Stadium. They're taking on the Royals. Noah Cameron, the lefty. Phillies haven't exactly crushed lefties, as it would have it, but my goodness, the total, and this is kind of crazy, is 8.5. Usually, this time of year, Kauffman Stadium, move the fences in. Winds have been blowing out 90 plus degrees. Sanchez was certainly hittable last time out. What are we thinking here? Is this got over? Do you think Noah Cameron can limit the Phillies? What are we doing this spot here tonight?
This is a very hard game to handicap for me because Kansas City, you mentioned how they changed the dimensions at Kauffman Stadium this year. It has resulted in the Royals being a much more productive offense at home as opposed to on the road. But they are facing Sanchez. Yet Sanchez's numbers on the road aren't as good at home. And then the other issue with betting the over here is the Phillies, like Kansas City, are a team that doesn't score as much on the road as when they do at home. So there's a lot of different things going in different directions, Joe. I got to be honest, it was a day game. I'm passing on this game. Cameron, I don't know. He's very inconsistent as well, which just only adds to the confusion for me.
I'm just going to go out on a limb here. We'll do one more, but they're probably already scoring runs and the game hasn't even started.
Washington.
Astros against Washington.
Yeah.
Now, Nicholas, listen, I don't know if he's actually not been terrible when they use an opener. He's actually been better that way, but he's still listed as the starter, so I don't know that they'll use an opener here, but Burrows is just nothing exciting about any of his back-end numbers there. I like the Astros bats. I like the Nats bats. What are we thinking here?
Yeah, over. And let's not forget both bullpens suck as well.
Yes.
Here, to put that's the technical handicap, I think. Mikolas, too, guys, be careful. There's a lot of times, Joe mentioned how they'll put an opener in front of them. They make that decision late. I remember when the Nationals came here to Cleveland, it was about an hour before first pitch that they changed. And then Mikolas came in, and he still wound up giving up a few runs in the fifth inning. I remember at the Guardians in the first five there, they left their last out, but we cashed. So, yeah, I like the over. The expectation here is with these two offenses, these two bullpens, these two starting pitchers, there will be runs. So I like the over there.
Outstanding stuff there, BP. All right, best bet on the board here today. Whether it be soccer or it be in Major League Baseball, you got a prop, you got a side, you got a total. What are you thinking, BP, for a best bet today?
Let's go to USA Belgium because I know people want something for that. Let's go both teams to score and over 2.5. So we need both teams to score and there to be at least 3 goals. I think this is a much better bet, Joe, than betting over 2.5. It's a little bit of cheap price. I don't see a world where either of these two sides were to win 3-0. So it just in terms of thinking how things go, I think that's the way to do it. The United States has scored 2 goals in every match so far. Belgium, while I think they've been shaky, they do have the most shots so far in the tournament. So I do think this feels, Joe, like 2-1 in favor of the United States, if you were to ask me to predict a final score.
Let me ask you this, because I think it would only make sense given the matchup here, but is there a world in which both teams score in the first half?
I don't know. We've been seeing, Belgium obviously left it late last time. Maybe. Sure. The U.S. has typically they've scored in the first half every match, right? Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, there's a world.
Right?
There's a world where that happens, yeah.
Or even, what about a tie, a draw in the first half there, BP?
Oh. I kind of like, what is it? Because what's over 1.5 in the first half? Do you have that open?
That's a good question. Let's see here. Yeah, that's a very good question.
I think, well, again, I guess to my point that it's not likely to be a 3-0 final. If you like over 1.5 in the first half, is there a good chance that it's because it's 1-1? Those two bets are over 1.5 in the first half and a first half draw are pretty correlated bets. So I'd actually like to see the price on those two things, see if one is significantly better than the other. And then that's what I would recommend. And that's what I would recommend that people do here.
First half draw is plus 130. USA.
And then what's over what?
Yeah. Oh, you want the spread. So if we went over a half here, we're looking at, let's see here. Well, Team USA, actually, I'm seeing picks everywhere. They won't even give you a half a run.
Over
a half a goal.
Well, okay. Well,
are you talking first half or a game?
Yeah, for the first half total. The first half total, like over, so you can get 1.25 actually.
Yes. At
plus 120, which means it's a split wager, as I know Carm has broken down for the people on the show before, between 1 and 1.5. I don't hate that, betting over 1.25 in the first half, plus 120, actually.
I don't hate that either. I think absolutely there's a pretty good chance that we can get a 1-1 match here when it's all said and done. Well, there you got it here, guys. Got some plays and some soccer. You got plenty of Major League Baseball. You've got opportunities to head over to BP's page. Take advantage of one of the all-access packages. Carmine Bianco also ready to roll here. Visit my page over at WagerTalk.com. It's all about building that bankroll, guys, until you can get the football season. This is the final push before and trust me, August will be here before we know it there, BP. It's kind of crazy. So all good stuff. Always a pleasure. Not really, but I'll say it anyway there, BP. Appreciate the time as always. Keep it rolling. We'll be back tomorrow. Art to Caesar will be in the house. Carmine will be back. And BP, of course, we'll see you at some point, usually
next Monday. Next Monday. I'll tell you what, Joe. The only thing I'm disappointed. The only thing I'm disappointed at over the last 40 minutes is that I spent all last week in the sun, it felt like. And look, I'm not even close to you. I mean, it's unbelievable. I might as well be a ghost.
Little too much SPF in your life there. You got to back off the sunblock, man. You can't wear, 200 sunblock and think that you're going to come out looking like a glazed donut. So not going to happen. Always a pleasure, BP. You got it. I'm so glad I could help you rectify that. Enjoy, guys. The best betting show ever. We'll see you again tomorrow. That's debatable, though.